EGM Network.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, and welcome to the show. We are so happy that you're here with us today. What a great day. It is Vero Beach. You know, this show is about lifestyle. Lori Davis. I'm a realtor with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. And, you know, I'm always trying to figure out and searching for why do people move to Vero Beach? Why Vero? Why Vero Beach? And today's show, I don't even have a guest today. Today is a discussion about Vero Beach. And the question was, is Vero Beach changing too fast or just growing up? So instead of having a bunch of people in here, I went and spoke with some of my peers. I spoke with some of my clients. I spoke with some of my friends. So we have some interesting feedback for you, some interesting comments. And of course, Cindy's been here longer than I have. I'm a 25-year veteran. Cindy, you are?
Probably 50, close to 50.
50 years.
Yeah.
So she's seen the changes. I've seen some changes, right? So I'm half of what you're bringing to the table, Cindy,
Right.
of seeing it. But it's interesting. I think you'll enjoy the show. Hang in with us. But, of course, the first thing we have to do, because we'll start out with thanking Chef Scott Verricchio at Citrus Grill House for our beverage of the day, because today seemed like a lemon drop martini day. Don't know why. I always remember this one, though, actually. Shout out to Rebecca Emmons. She was my first guest on my first show, and we had a lemon drop martini. So
Okay.
I always think of Rebecca Emmons. She's a real estate attorney in town. She's a tennis partner. She's a dear friend. Love her.
And she's got good taste in liquor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and,
Yeah.
it's Citrus now. We've got Martini Mondays. So
Right. Let me go through this list right here.
I know.
Yeah, we got some good stuff.
So I have this beautiful lemon drop martini, and because there's Martini Mondays, we tape on a Tuesday. If you know Citrus, most people have their favorite martini that they go to at Citrus Grill House. This one is one of my favorites. One of their other great ones that everybody loves is the grapefruit martini.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's so very good. And they take a piece of basil and go bam, and make it even better. But there is Tuesdays night is kids night. So as long as one parent, one child,
Yep.
the kids eat for free. And I keep saying it. He finally made chicken nuggets, and I still haven't tasted one of those nuggets. I want a nugget. I'm going to have to go there on a Tuesday to get them. I could go after the show. What am I thinking?
Right. And I want him to have Scott. I know you're listening, Scott, Chef for Life.
He does, Chef for
I want
Life.
to have a adult menu that's a kid's menu, if you will.
I want the mac and cheese and the chicken tenders.
Right.
That is Tracy Zudan's go-to meal, like anytime for lunch. That's her favorite.
Yes.
So, we're going to have to try that on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Wine Down Wednesdays, they do $5 off glasses of wine. Wagyu Thursdays. We haven't done it, Cindy.
We have to.
That was crazy that day. I couldn't do it, but Jim and I did it. They had it on the Friday next to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it. It's amazing. It's so delicious. And you know what? It seems like it's winter. I mean, winter. It seems like mashed potatoes and green beans sound like winter, but with this beautiful piece of steak, and it's not a big portion. I mean, it's a beautiful portion, but mashed potatoes and green beans. The green beans were insanely good. Everything was so good. The mashed potatoes, I loved it. So anyway, so much to enjoy. And then don't forget the prefix menu, $26, 2 courses. I mean, Citrus is doing so many wonderful things. You need to go over there, pick a day of the week. There's going to be something, that's going to be fun there. And they always have great, great food. If it's not fresh, he's not serving it. He's cutting fresh fish every morning. If fish is what you want, he's going to be there. You can find a pasta. That beet salad is still there. And every once in a while, I just have to go in for the beet salad. He's doing wonderful things. So we'll have him on very shortly. But thank you, Chef Scott Verricchio, for our beverage. And, 1050 Easter Lily Lane, right there next to Humiston Park. It's fabulous. Monday to Saturday. Lunch and dinner. Sit outside. You can still sit outside. It's gorgeous. There's a beautiful breeze. They got fans on, or sit inside. Staff is great. Everybody's great. So go on over to Citrus Grill House. Okay. So is Vero changing or growing up? Longtime residents say, a lot of people like to say, we want to keep Vero Vero. That's the mantra of a lot of veteran Vero Beach people, and that's fine. But is it possible that we could make it better? Is it possible that we can evolve a little bit? Because I don't want it to just, and somebody else said, let's make Vero more Vero, right? We have a younger community. We have people that are moving here. We have, and I think about the children that are growing up here. And, once you've gotten out of high school and if you go to college, and can you come back to Vero and do your job? I mean, unless you're in medical or finance, or what do we got? The county.
Yeah, school teacher.
School district.
Yeah,
school district. Yeah. So that's it. And so if that's it, you're kind of limiting these kids to coming back home. Now, obviously, if you're a bigger place, if you're Palm Beach County or you're Brevard County or you're Hillsborough County in Tampa, there's more opportunity. So I think that we need to maybe look a little bit ahead, but it's not all negative. It is not. It's not. Indian River County, the growth in Indian River County. Now, one of the things I want to say is we've done quite well in managing our growth over the last 10 years versus other counties south of us. Okay. We have some rules and regulations in place, Cindy, you will agree.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
That we're still keeping our height restrictions.
Right.
We are asking these developers to pay for their own infrastructure. If you're going to build a subdivision, you got to put in sewers, you got to fix the roads, you got to do the things that you're going to need to do.
Right.
But now Indian River County has grown steadily, but basically we went from 2015, so I'm talking about the last 10 years, 148,000 to 173,000 people, which again, that's 17%, but it's been driven primarily by in-migration versus birth. We know that with retirees, but affluent households continuing to choose the county for quality of life. So these are people who pay taxes, who pay, there's a lot of, we know there's so many benevolent people out there that are giving money to local charities and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The people that are coming in aren't coming in to take from the county. They're coming in and they're actually doing great things for the county, for the city, for what's going on there. Now, St. Lucie, on the other hand, it's, they have more affordable housing, single new home construction, proximity to major employment centers, but their growth rate was 21.6% in 10 years. And that's getting a little, it's hard to manage. And they're not doing as good a job, I think, in the reviews and what I studied for the show as we are. So our growth has been intentionally preserved to keep our character. And that's very important. That's we want to keep Vero, right? Resulting in less congestion. Now, we do have more people on the road. We know that. We've got more people. But lower density, still we're keeping it managed. And it has a more exclusive feel than of many of our neighboring counties, right? I mean, can you say that? Brevard versus St. Lucie and Indian River, there's something about it.
The dynamic of it was totally different to begin with, though.
Right.
It
Correct.
was totally
but
different.
My point is we're maintaining it, even though we're getting bigger.
To a certain extent. The thing that bothers me about some of it is I see some of it now more exploding.
Okay.
From to liken it to what's happened there. I mean, certainly when I moved here years ago, St. Lucie down there was 2 dirt roads.
Right.
And then when the Mets came in, I don't even remember the year it was, in the 80s or whatever, then it was this onslaught. Now it's like one of the biggest towns, isn't it, in the United States?
It is. And during the 2020, I got here in 2000. It was always one of the biggest county that was growing in the state of Florida. Right. There were more people incoming there. And, they sold it. The developers sold it to like New York and New Jersey. They sold it to firefighters. I mean, they literally targeted, retirees right up there. You retire 40 years old.
Yep.
Firemen, police force, those kind of things. And they got a lot of that there. But it didn't, the whole tradition thing. And there's just, it to me seems unmanaged. It doesn't seem as well managed. Now we're trying in Indian River County. If you had tried to build anything in the town of Indian River County, you'll be sure to note it takes a while for that ship to turn. So maybe that's their method to keeping things, under control. Go ahead.
One of the things that I always was enamored of this area, and I still am, is the uniqueness of some of the businesses and ideas that you hadn't and don't see in other places. And that's the part that I want to keep and not the onslaught. So that's what makes Vero unique. And you talked, Lori, before about people, what kind of jobs they have. Well, when you bring in those type of businesses that are unique and different, you can do employment at those places.
That's
it
correct.
Doesn't have to be this, let's all build these strip malls and everybody's going to have a job, at Bob's Soda Shop and all this. That's exactly what I don't want. I don't want to see that. I don't want that mentality. I don't want any of that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
It's the uniqueness of what people did. I mean, like Piper, like
Yes.
When the Dodgers came in. I mean, look at the history of that. When the flight safety and all that came in, those kind of things. And what I pin myself to, that's what Vero is about, and entices those kind of people with those kind of brains that are thinking outside the box, that makes it like that. And we don't need 50,000 people here to make it work.
No, we do not.
That's me.
100% agree with you. And it's funny you say that, because now look at that. A lot of what you mentioned circles around the airport and all the things that are going around the airport. Now, there's some positivity going on with the airport and the things that they're doing, because it's not just commercial air, but there's private corporate air, which is growing in a wonderful way. And we have the ability to absorb those types of businesses where private jet, I mean, there's a need for that. So you get Piper in there, you got flight safety, then you've got corporate air, and then we've got the commercial coming in, which is obviously affecting us. We know that. Nobody can say it's not. Yeah. I think a lot of the people that are coming, though, if you want a high life and a nightlife, and you want lots of restaurants and you want all those things, it's not going to work for them. I think people are realizing, the people that are selecting Vero Beach, Cindy, are selecting it because we are, we're just a little more chill. We are a little more laid back. We have an old town feel. We're more of a community than a big city, And it's not strip malls. We have our share, but we have a lot of wonderful independent restaurants. We have a lot of little enclaves. We got 14th Avenue, but they're doing the whole art district, and on Ocean Drive, and now they're doing all the green hat ladies are putting all the flowers out. And there are things going on within the community that people are stepping up to do and say, we're going to keep this thing unique. We're not just going to let it run out of control. Right.
That's what I point to. And one that I forgot to mention, it's a huge one, is Riverside. Both the museum and
that's
also
on my
Riverside
notes
Theater.
here. Yes.
I mean, that's world class.
It is.
And everyone says that. That's like Vero's Broadway.
It is.
And those are the things that I point towards.
Correct.
Not the thing that grates on my nerves is some of the traffic, and when the people say, well, we didn't do that like that back there, and I'm like, oh, that's exactly what we don't want.
I know.
That's exactly what we don't want.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what Riverside Theater did, they did their upgrade and they did their improvements a couple years ago. And now we have 2 theaters over there, plus the Children's Theater as well still exists. And then now the Vero Beach Museum of Art.
Right.
And what they're doing, and the amount of money that has been donated for this has nothing to do with the city of Vero Beach.
No.
These are the enhancements that we have here. This is why we're making Vero a better Vero.
Right.
We're not changing it. We're not, we're not stopping it. We're improving it. And I wish I would like people to understand that it's not changing. It's just improving. It's making things better so that the things that are fabulous for us, that you could imagine that museum needing to get even better than it was. And it's amazing. It always has been.
It has.
It has.
I mean, the talent that goes into that is unreal. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the Louvre, but I mean, not that I've ever been there, but
the shows that come through.
Unreal.
I know.
Unreal. The talent, and also the museum, the exhibitions that they get. I've never heard of them in other places.
Yeah, I know.
Because they can tap into the people that have that connection.
Yeah, agreed. It's so cool. And
that's what I want.
That's what I want. I want more of that.
Right.
I want more of that.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. And that's the change that people get. Like I said, everybody wants to keep it the old way. And I think you have to evolve. There's no denying it. You can't dig your heels in the sand.
No. I don't want to do that. But I mean, the old way being the old way of thinking kind of thing, where you keep the levels down, you keep that kind of stuff going forward. I don't need all this cupola kind of stuff. Like you said, I don't need a discotheque. I don't need
No.
I don't want that.
No. So I spoke with a young lady today. She's 25 years old, a dear friend of mine's daughter. And I was like, what does it feel like? Because she graduated from college, came home, moved to New York City for 2 years, came back. Now she's headed to New Zealand. So you know who you are, Kiki. And I said, what is it? How is it different for you now? Because she said, when I got out of college, I had to leave. You just have to go because there's nothing for a 23-year-old person to do in Vero Beach. I mean, there wasn't for her in that situation. Even for entertainment, they're going to look for something fun to do. They got more energy than us. They're going to go out at night, whatever. But she said, you know what I've noticed when I got back 2 years later? Vero has become a more walkable city. And she lives in Central Beach, and she's like, I'm just going to walk everywhere. I'm going to walk or bike, which I think is becoming more prevalent. People are bicycling around town. Now, people with electric bikes, I have friends that live, out off 12th Street, and they'll bike over the bridge and come on over and, have a meal, have a bite to eat, have some lunch, something like that. She felt like it was a more bikeable city. She said she felt like Vero was now providing more activities for younger residents, like there's pickleball out there, and these are public places that you can go. You don't have to join a country club for this, right? Yeah. So, and I loved her to say this. I was like, that's really cool. There's tennis courts. There's public tennis courts. Charles Park got an upgrade. Right. We know that Riverside Park has great courts over there. And, there's beaches. Like, there's more people on the beach now. Like, I feel like more people are taking advantage. And she said, my God, Lori, I don't think I went to the beach at all when I lived here, and I'm there 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to keep. I want to keep that the way it is. The free beach, the free with the whole bit. It's got to stay that way.
Absolutely. And we have 13 beaches. They're free parking.
Free parking.
Amazing. Yep. If you need a lifeguard, then you can find the 3 lifeguard beaches. I think it's JC Park,
Hummiston,
and
South Beach.
Oh yeah. South Beach, definitely, but the tracking station has one.
I always forget about that. Yeah.
I know.
I love the tracking station.
I have a lot of friends that find that tracking station. I find that so funny. Yeah. Behind the CVS and the 7-Eleven and Indian River Shores. Right. But they love the beach because there's never anybody there. Right. But it's got restrooms and all the things that you need. So, listen, Cindy, we're going to take a break. We're doing a commercial. We'll get back with you. But, is Vero Beach changing too much, or is it just growing? We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about that. We'll see you in a second.
We all have that pair of jeans hiding in the back of our closet with hopes of wearing them again. Slim Therapeutics can make that hope a reality. Our GLP therapy offers personalized weight loss, helping you quiet that food noise, reduce those cravings, and boost your overall health. Pair that with our customized HRT for men and women. Let's balance those hormones, improve sleep, and restore your energy. Visit us in downtown Vero Beach or Google Slim Therapeutics today for a free consultation.
Finding the right home loan should feel like the last piece of a puzzle. Here in Vero, one name stands out for experience you can trust. Gina Melton at Riverside Mortgage Solutions.
With over 16 years of local expertise, I'm not just a loan originator, I'm your neighbor. Don't settle for an out-of-town lender. Talk to me at 772-205-8880. Call me, Gina Melton, with Riverside Mortgage Solutions.
Riverside Mortgage Solutions is an equal housing lender. NMLS 1712816 and NMLS 877888. Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Beach. Are you becoming a realtor, contractor, mold remediator, guardian? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
We are back here with the Lori Davis Show talking about, has Vero Beach changed too much, or is it okay to grow? Because we need to change in positive ways, and there's always going to be a backlash. Growth is always painful, but I think Cindy and I are in agreement that we're trying. The county is trying to manage, and the city as well, to keep things obviously under wraps. So a couple things that happened. The 4th of July celebration in Vero Beach was such a positive vibe. Everybody enjoyed it. Even, like I said, the young people I talked to said, I felt like there was something different this year. And we didn't know whether it was like the 250th celebration or that, World Cup was going on. Yeah. Because the World Cup
was a
feeling,
big deal. Yeah.
Well, everybody, there was a feeling, I think, that the media feeds us that, we as Americans we're bad people, and Europe thinks we're bad people. And then the Europeans come over here and say, I don't know about those guys, but we're going anyway. And everybody got over here and they found out that, gee, the Americans were quite lovely and gracious and kind. And the Europeans were like, you guys aren't anything like they said you were.
Isn't that terrible, though?
I know.
And we're in media, and I find that just so off-putting that it's crazy, because I travel all the time. You do too.
Yes.
And I go 999% people in that one bad egg.
I know.
Really is what it is.
I truly agree. I couldn't believe it. And I'm so happy that there's this lingering over glow of that World Cup, and I think we really needed it. I think everybody kind of needed it in a little bit of a way. There's always going to be people out there.
Well, there is. There's going to be those three people, but
the majority of the people, and I'm talking about way more than 50%. I'm talking about 85, 90, 95% of the people are fabulous. So, but that was an interesting statement from, again, a younger person who, said, I really felt like, things were going in the right direction. And I love that. The bridge is almost done, Cindy. Let's talk about progress. Yeah. It's almost done. They won't take those darn cones down. I don't know. They claim there's nobody working and the barrier's still up, but apparently it's going to happen. I'm talking about the positive things here that are going on in Vero Beach. One other thing that somebody mentioned to me was the land trust, and they loved the greenway that they did at 8th Street and Indian River Boulevard. Yep. And then the next one they mentioned, which if you haven't been up there, you have to go. It's called the Tony Robinson Waterfront Trail. And they actually just added 10 more acres to that. Mm-hmm. It's a longer trail than the Greenway. It goes out to the Indian River, and that one has a little pergola out there. It's covered, but it's a nice longer boardwalk out into the Indian River. If you have people that are coming to visit, that's a great place to go and take people.
And that's another positive, what I'm talking about, that's the uniqueness of it, that people had the forethought. That's the list of things that we need to say, these are things we want to emulate.
That's correct.
This is it right here.
That's right. And they are. I mean, the Land Trust is an amazing group.
It is.
We're going to have them in here again in a month or so. So we're looking forward to that. But they're just always eyeing properties. They're looking, and there are people out there trying to do that for us. So listen, I just want to say growth is inevitable, but community is a choice. So we know what's going to happen. We've got to do the right things. The future of Vero depends on how we welcome new neighbors and while protecting what made all of us fall in love with this place. And that's what this show is all about. Why Vero Beach? Why did we fall in love with it? And I think there's a lot of great things that we can look to and point to that that tell us that we are definitely living in the right place in the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Cindy. Enjoy the show. Thank you for sharing with me. Thanks for working with me today. You're always working with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, and everybody out there, have a great day. Be safe out there. We'll see you here next week. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.